Okay, so here we have Marilyn going through the strength routine. So she is 68 years old. So I thought it'd be good to have a demonstration of someone who's a little bit older than me. After all, this is a book for seniors. And I've been working with her for a little while, so notice some of the movements here will be quite good. Some of the movements she hasn't done before, so it'd be good for you to see some of the mistakes she makes during the video. So obviously I've left those in. So starting off with the ankles. So she's got quite a nice toe point here. And I think we did probably 10 or so repetitions here. So again, like I said earlier, the amount of repetitions you do is up to you. Moving on to the circles. And again, most of you might have one joint that's more mobile than the other. And that's perfectly normal because obviously most of us are left-handed, right-handed, right-footed. So over a lifetime, we build up lots of compensations. So if you have got one side that is tighter, you can do more mobilizations on that side. That's absolutely fine because the goal is to try and strive for the body being symmetrical, but no one will truly have a symmetrical body. It's impossible just because we're living. Okay, moving on. Hugging the knee, extending the leg. So here she's pointing her toes. I prefer people to pull the toes back when you extend the leg. So when you pull the toes back when you extend the leg, you get more of a stretch in the calf and the hamstring. But pointing the toes is not wrong at all. So hugging the knee, extending it out. So she's making these look more graceful than when I demonstrated them. I'd like her legs a little bit wider. So you'll notice that when she puts her legs down, they're quite close together. So I'd like them a little bit wider because that adds a bit more stability for you sitting on the chair when you're moving around. And again, keeping the feet planted. So here I'd like her legs a bit wider and the feet flat. So sometimes you might have to find a chair that's more accommodating to your limb length. So you want the chair a little bit, probably a little bit shorter here, or I'd probably like to move her forwards a bit more in the actual chair. Wrist circles. Very nice. And for some of you, you might find this coordination quite a challenge. Just keep going. Over time, it will improve. So next up, we're closing open the fist. So I'd like her to pull the fingers back more. So you'll get a bit, there we go. So you'll basically get a stretch in the forearms, the fingers, wherever you feel tightest. So really opening up those fingers as much as you can and then closing them into a fist. Open as much as you can into a fist. Again, keeping the breathing nice and smooth. Most people will not be aware of them actually holding their breath. So as you get proficient at these routines, really become aware of your breathing. Most of us breath hold multiple times throughout the day, which we don't want to be doing. And our breathing should be with the nose ideally, so the mouth will be closed. So if you feel yourself mouth breathing in some of the more challenging exercises, that's okay, but ideally aim for only breathing with the nose. So shoulder circles here. So really emphasize those shoulders going back and down, because a lot of us spend a lot of time slouching over now. So next we're doing the raising the arms, lowering the arms. So she had a little bit of difficulty with this because we haven't really done too much this one. We've done some different variations, so it's good to see something, but it gets better as I give you a little bit of feedback. So we're breathing out as the arms go down, then inhaling as the arms come up. So I like that all in one motion really, but if it's a pause there, it doesn't really matter too much. She's going a little bit in front here, so we want to keep these to the side because when we raise them to the side, it opens the chest more. And when we raise the arms up, we want the palms facing up or the thumb facing up. and inhale. So now we're getting a bit more of a better direction, not there though. So inhale on the way up, exhale on the way down. There we go. So almost imagine you're a bird flying. So the feedback here could be like, imagine like you're flapping your wings. So inhale up, exhale down. I think that's the feedback I gave here. So imagine you're flapping your arms like a bird, and that will get you in the right spot. Okay, moving on. So we are turning the neck. So again, we want to lead with the cheekbone, like you're trying to look behind yourself. And again, as you're doing it, trying to look a little bit further behind yourself each time you look behind. And the arms can sort of rest where it's natural here. So you can put them on your lap here, you can put them on the chair. If you need a bit more stability, sometimes on the chair can be better. So neck tilts, lifting the cheekbone up towards the ceiling, keeping all these exercises nice and smooth. And your goal is to, in the future, make them more and more smooth, more and more relaxed, more and more seamless. Right, rotation. So turning the shoulders. And again, for a lot of you, you'll have to. So my feedback here was just to get to shift forward a little bit. So that means we can get our feet flat on the floor. Because again, even though we're sitting here, because we're moving, the feet are still going to be a very important foundation. Just as obviously we are standing up. So here we're turning the shoulders. Again, trying to go a little bit further each time. So most of you have one side you might be able to turn a little bit more. So the goal is to try and get it as symmetrical as possible. Side bends. So because we've done quite a few of these, we're raising the arms and we're really trying to open up that side of the ribs. So we're trying to lean over as much as we can, obviously pain-free. The further you lean over, the more challenging it is. So if you're not used to this, you could do this with a wall on one side. So if you're worried about falling out of the chair, the wall could be there for support. But again, don't raise the arms if you're not used to this. Right, here we've got our marching. So like I said earlier, you can raise the knee as high as you want. You can go slow. So if you go really slow, that makes it more challengingly muscular. If you up the speed, that could make it a bit more aerobic. And again, you can really turn the torso here as well. And again, I'll say 1 minute minimum, but you could do this for 2 minutes, 3 minutes. If you want a bit of a recharge throughout the day to get yourself moving, just do this for 2 or 3 minutes in a chair. Gets the blood circulating, gets the breathing going. Really good as an energy boost. Or if you're feeling a bit sluggish, or when there's a TV advert on, you can always do a bit of chair marching. And she's got her arms quite straight. I'd like the elbows to bend a little bit, but doesn't matter too much. Right, so now we're doing the extending the leg. Oh, sorry. We are circling. So this is just mobilizing the hip. So nice big circles in both directions. And again, you're going to have probably one side that feels more uncomfortable. If you're getting some pain here, reduce the range of motion or leave it and do it another day. And again, you might have one direction that's not as smooth as the other, perfectly normal. And you'll see here that the body's moving quite a lot. So when we're doing some of these exercises, the core has to stabilize. So that's why we want to sit a bit more on the edge of the chair for these exercises. So we're getting quite a lot of core activation just by moving the limbs around. Right, so next we're doing some squats. So we've been doing squats for a little while. So notice here, send the hips back and then gently sitting down. So we want to avoid collapsing into the chair. So you'll notice most people, if you observe them, they will just collapse into the chair. So any time you're sitting down now, don't just leave it for this workout session. Aim to sit down as softly as possible and then standing up smoothly. So keeping the knees in line with the second big toe, not letting the knees buckle in. Again, we don't want to breath hold here. So if this is harder work, exhale as you stand up, inhale on the way down. So breathe out on the way up, inhale on the way down. If it feels easy, you can reverse the breathing and exhale on the way down. So again, making this smooth. And again, we can lower the chair to make it harder. We can raise the chair to make it easier. So you can put lots of cushions on the chair, really prop it up. Or use some assistance or hold onto a door handle or a belt or a partner so they can help you in and out of the chair, and you'll be stronger on the way down. So always work on making that lowering nice and slowly. That's where you're going to gain most strength. So if you can keep a lot of the muscles strong in your legs, that's going to help your hips and your knee health, which is obviously very important. And obviously if we're getting in and out of cars, getting in and out of seats, we are squatting multiple times every day. And here we just made the squat very slow, which makes it more challenging. And again, like I say, making this squat lower makes it much more challenging and slower. So I would do sort of minimum 10 squats, build up to 20, and obviously then use a harder progression, but really there is no right and wrong of how many or how little you do of squats. Just make sure you can recover from it. Right, now we're doing our hand movements. So the first one is pushing forwards. So really opening up those fingers, pulling the fingers back, straighten those arms, really feel like a stretch going all the way through your fingers, palms, forearms, shoulders. Next one, we are pushing out to the side. So I need to give a bit of feedback here for this movement here because I haven't done this before. So when we're here, we're pulling the shoulders back, the elbows, pinch the shoulder blades together, really feel the chest lifting and stretching, and then we push out. So here we're pushing out to the side. So imagine like you're pushing two walls apart. So remember, keep the shoulders relaxed, keep the face relaxed, but we are feeling a stretch going through the shoulders. There is a little bit of power in this arm push. Right then here, inhale, lift the chest, and then we are going to be pushing upwards. Okay, so how much power you put into the push is up to you. So when you're first doing this, keep it on the gentler side. As you get more proficient, you can put more energy into this arm push. So we are building a bit of isometric strength here. And the final one, so inhale, lift the chest, and then push downwards. So pulling those fingers apart, pushing towards the floor. Make sure we're breathing. No breath holding. Again, you could go for this once minimum, but you could go through this 2 or 3 times with this arm push. And then finally, abdominal breathing. So this just helps us to reset the whole system. So inhale, hands move away. Exhale, hands move in gently. So the breathing here is just very gentle, smooth and calm and deep.